How you doing, YouTube? Matt Massa Beer Reviews. Back. A little bit of mystery beers, courtesy of my boy Rick. This is number 3 of 3 mystery beers. He sent me some non-mystery beers. And, yeah. All 3 of these have been big, huge bangers. One I butchered quite nicely. One I kind of got, wouldn't say I did well on it, but I didn't do too poopily on it. So we'll see for the third time's the charm. Label-wise, sweet paper towel, masking tape. Beer-wise, looks like a big beer. You know, pinky finger. Just south of where I like my coffee look like, but north of malted malt ball color. And it has this darkness to it. The head on it comes off creamy and fluffy. Makes me think of milk stout. Could be something a little bit more robust than that, but yeah. Looks the part of a big old beer. Let's get a nose. Okay. It's hazelnut or peanut butter. I'm leaning heavily into peanut butter right now. It's gotta be peanut butter. I don't even know. It couldn't be that vibrant to actually bring that level of nuttiness if it was hazelnut. So it definitely has to be. I'm assuming like a peanut butter, chocolate, peanut butter, might be peanut butter hazelnut. They're going for a Nutella thing. Very much like, almost like Reese's level kind of chocolate playing off this kind of peanut butter in here. But a nice toasty malt, a nice nutty roasty malt that marries well with that nice peanut butter. That's all I'm getting. I wouldn't be surprised if there was an adjunct of, you know, chocolate, cacao nibs, like a hazelnut or something like that. But the big component here is at least a hefty dose of chocolate malt, if not aided and abetted by some cacao nibs with that peanut butter really kind of singing and tying the whole beer together. So, relatively high-ish ABV. I'm not really sold on a big beer. Somewhere a little bit less than double digits. It's kind of what my nose leads me to believe. Let's dive in. Cheers. Okay. There's this heat on here. Big pop of sweetness. It's weird. Because I want to say straight up heat. It's not barrel. It's got to be a double-digit ABV beer, but I feel like there's something else to it. Like the heat isn't just strictly from alcohol. There's not chili in here. But I think there's a spice component in here that's kind of marrying with that little heat thing. And it's kind of, my brain's thinking it's all completely like a hot beer. Because it doesn't really sting the back of the throat, but there's this vibrance and violence to the way that kind of comes off. I think it's being assisted by something. It's a bittering beer while being relatively decently sweet. A little lip, kind of sticky lip smackingness. So let's say this is like 11%, 10.5%. 11? Between 10.5% and 11%. Peanut butter, chocolate beer. There's no cinnamon in this. There's something in there. There's something, I believe there's something else in there. And it's like a baking spice, but something very subtle. That's what I'm getting. It could be attributed to yeast, to hops, to the malt, something on that line. Could be a little bit of rye, and I'm confusing that with that. Could be a little bit of kind of a cool kind of yeast component, and I'm, you know, mixing it up with that. Or they use some kind of more unique kind of hop combination that you would typically not use in like a peanut butter baked beer. So we'll just stick to it. Let's just walk it back. Let's get simple here, not get overly complicated. It's a 10.8. See what I did there? Right in between. 10.8% chocolate peanut butter stout. Do I want to go milk stout? No. Yes, milk stout. Because it's bittering, but the mouth feels too silky, and that bittering doesn't get too out of control, and I think it's rather large. So, yeah, 10.8% peanut butter chocolate milk stout. And something else, but I'm not going to say what it is because I have no idea what it is. If this is barrel aged, I think all the beers that he is another odd side. Oh, you probably saw it. Hazelnuts. I went all in on the peanut butter barrel. See, Imperial Stout, Aged in bourbon barrels. I did not get a huge barrel component off of any of these beers. And that's what I was saying when I was unwrapping it, was words. All the beers that he sent me were barrel aged. So I'm like, I don't think this one is, but it is. It's an Imperial Stout, aged in bourbon barrels. Fine. There's a heat component to it. It doesn't come off as a big, rich bourbon characteristic. This was randled through a barrel. Spent a month or two. It didn't spend a long amount of time in there. With coffee and coconut. See, I don't think it comes off. Okay, it's a little under a year old. So I think that coffee's kind of wavered. Okay, and maybe that was the spicy component in there that I couldn't get because the coffee is, right now drinking it, okay, fine, there's some coffee in there, but it's not a coffee-forward beer, at least at this age, it's not. With coconut, that is probably where I was kind of flirting. Okay, coconut, natural hazelnut, and toasted marshmallow flavorings. So I think that marriage of that coconut and that marshmallow is really that really big component that I couldn't figure out. I was like, it's not lactose, but there's something going on when you throw in that coffee in there, and the beer being, just under a year old. I think that's where this went. I said at the beginning, there's no way you can get this level of nuttiness from hazelnut, but apparently you can. I am wrong. So I talked myself off of that ledge in the immediate wrong direction. And outside, I like the more the maltier beers that they do. I like the other stuff too, but I think they're a really fun brewery. And this beer's been around for a while. It's kind of like, I think it was like a mini whale for like maybe 6 months or a year back in the day before they started doing larger distribution, because I can actually find Oddside close to me. What they say about this beer is this Imperial Stout aged in bourbon barrels provides a plethora of mouth-watering notes such as vanilla, oak, no, whiskey, sweetness, but not really whiskey, chocolate, yes, coffee, no, hazelnuts, yeah, like the craziest amount of hazelnuts I've ever had in a beer, and toasted marshmallow and coconut. That was definitely their 12%, so I was 1.2% off. I like it. I think it's fun. I think it's tasty. It's definitely a pastry stout through and through, but it drinks really nice, especially when you consider that it's barrel aged. It comes off as one of the more drinkable pastry barrel aged beers I've ever had. Do you want drinkability in that kind of beer? I don't know. I kind of dig it in a sense. Yeah. Fun beer. Fun 3 mystery beers. Thank you very much. I did not get any of these really all that well. So I appreciate the kookiness and the fuckduggery and the beers that you sent off. I was like, I don't want to name them in case nobody else, or in case you didn't watch the other ones yet. So they're very fun, Rick. Thank you very much for sending these off. So let's talk about it. This is one of the better barrel-aged nut beers that I've had as of late. Yeah, is it Mount Rushmore status? I don't know. It's probably worthy, but I've had some really good nut-forward kind of beers in the barrel-aged realm that it's probably deserving. I just don't know why I want to keep it out. Value and availability on this, that I'm curious about, because I know this can see shelves outside of the Michigan and stuff like that. So you guys, let me know what you paid for this if you've had it, and leave you with, if you like what we like this, if you like pastry stouts that are barrel-aged but are more drinkable. And by that, I mean, it did have that tinge of hotness to it, but it does not like a burner or anything like that. But outside of that, it drank really well. It was had the rounded edges that a aged beer does, and all the flavors are melded together, which makes a really nice chuggable beer. So if you like those things, you'll like this. There you go. Review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much, Rick, again, for sending off. If anybody else out there wants to send off a mystery box, because that's the only way we can do them, you're more than welcome to reach out. Matt@massivebeers.com or massivebeers@gmail.com. And hopefully you guys are enjoying a little bit of beer right now, mystery or otherwise. Hope we'll see you next time. Cheers.